Doing that thing you do. Hope you guys liked the last episode of the podcast. A little movie talk, a little something different.
The best movie talk.
Some would argue. One person would argue.
I am arguing
Wes
currently.
is currently arguing.
We're dressed for war.
We're dressed for war. Cardinals, wild card game. LA, watch out. You're going fishing. Bad news. When I got the Mark McGwire shirt on, it means bad news for all your stupid little baseball teams.
I saw you tweeted today, Albert, I'm sorry it has to be you, but you're going down.
The only potential downside is we're going to potentially retire the best player in the history of our franchise tonight. But
and our lifetime.
For sure of our lifetime. Probably not the best in the franchise. Probably Stan the man. But of our lifetime, just because, Stan played for the Cardinals for 75 years.
He's a lifer.
Yeah.
Would you say Albert is the best player of our lifetime? Any team?
Any
team?
Any player? I wouldn't disagree with you if you said that. There's a few guys. You could argue. Here's the thing, and baseball is weird. I feel like people don't worry about championships at all whenever they're evaluating baseball players'
stats usually, yeah.
Things. Like, you could argue Trout. You could argue. Barry Bonds is probably a little early for him to be considered in that.
Right. Yeah. He's technically of our lifetime.
Griffey was a little early for us. We were born mid '90s, so a little early for his prime. Although most of his prime was.
Yeah, we were just too.
I'm thinking more like when I started watching baseball, which is like mid 2000s,
He's the best
early
of
2000s.
The last 25 years, 20 years.
Yeah. You could argue like A-Rod maybe, Mike Trout.
I thought A-Rod. A lot of clouds over some of these guys. Not Trout, but A-Rod, Bonds.
Yeah, maybe some of these guys right now, Shohei Ohtani's the best baseball player I've ever seen.
That's a good point. Yeah, Ohtani could be there. We're not here to talk about baseball.
We're back. The point is, bread and butter. Football talk, baby.
The point is, we're going to war. We're wearing our red. We're filming a bit early, as in like 2 or 3 hours early, because the game starts at 7.
It's not dark outside.
It's not.
You can see right there.
A little early because we had a game to watch. We're going to do spread pick show. Week 5. Last week, we both survived. We both advanced in Survivor. We both lost our super locks. I finished 8-8 on a bad week. 8-8. We'll take it.
I didn't do as well, folks.
You went 6-10. That's fine.
But folks, if you saw the absolute bloodbath that is my DraftKings Sportsbook account right now, it's not fine.
A lot of losses?
Bad. It's a lot of red in a row.
That's why we gamble responsibly at this show. This is just for fun.
Yeah.
We're just having a goof.
And I'm not having any fun right now. But we're going to turn it all around soon with these picks that I'm about to give out.
You want to start it? You want to get on?
Yeah, let's get to it. Why waste any time? Why dilly-dally? Let's get to the Thursday night game.
Thursday night football.
Featuring your Los Angeles Rams traveling 12th man, Seattle, Washington, city by the bay, one of the cities by the bay, home of grunge music, the Seattle Seahawks.
Needle, the Space Needle.
Space Needle.
The Kraken.
Yeah. Fresh seafood. They have that thing where they throw the fish at the market and they catch them.
Is that in Seattle?
Yeah.
Home of light drizzle.
Mm-hmm. So, LA Rams, 2.5-point favorites on the road in Seattle. I'll get your thoughts first because you know this team much better than I do.
Folks, we're not going to lie. We laid an egg last week. Lost to division rival Arizona. I think was one of those games. It's hard to quantify who it means more and stuff like that too. But I think it was clear the week before against Tampa, you could tell the Rams, it meant more to them. It was a look-ahead spot to New England for Tampa, for Tom going back home. The stadium was buzzing, and they came out really fired up. And last week, they did the exact opposite. And Arizona was in a big prove-it spot to show that they are for real. So, awful game last week. Now we go on the road. Seattle and the Rams have historically played a lot of close games, a lot of pretty good games. I just really don't like the Seahawks team. I didn't love how the Rams looked last week, but I think they play them well, and I would lean the Rams in this spot, although I don't love it. I don't love it. How are you feeling?
I think I love the Rams in this spot.
Okay.
I think I like them a lot. Primetime road favorites. Historically, a bad thing to bet, though. Historically, not a winning bet. Usually
Home
like
dog in division is not a good recipe.
40% success rate on that. That being said, can I give you some stats?
Stat
you want
me
some
up.
stats?
I want them.
Both these teams' pass defense in terms of yards allowed, pretty bad. 25th and 26th in the league.
Yeah.
So expect a shootout, expect a lot of yards, expect both these quarterbacks to have a big day. Seattle, worst in the entire NFL against the run in terms of yards allowed.
They've been getting eviscerated.
The Rams' offense, though, on the ground, hasn't been incredible, but, serviceable. They're somewhere in like the top 12, 10, something like that. So I think they take advantage of that. I think they'll be able to control the line of scrimmage. Like we said all year, Seattle's just not a very physical team. They're not a team that is built for defending the run or tackling in general, really. Also, the Rams have the 5th most passing yards in the entire NFL. Obviously, we know one of the best passing attacks, if not the best passing attack in the entire league. So against the Seattle defense, that's going to be expedited. It's going to look even better, I think. I don't see Seattle stopping this team. Seattle also, a little interesting nugget about them, 5th worst in the entire NFL converting third downs. Rams, 2nd best in the NFL converting third downs.
I like the things you're saying.
All those things being said, leads me to lean Rams. I think Seattle has played an easier schedule thus far. I think their record is, 2-3? 3-2.
We've only played 4 games.
Oh, 2-2 then. Yes, this is week 5.
2-2. Yeah,
I
Rams
was
are 3-1.
thinking college football's week 6. This is week 5. I think the 2-2 is a little deceiving. I don't think the Seattle team is very good. Obviously, they've got the weapons on the outside. Carson being banged up is huge. I don't really think they've got a good in-between the tackles runner to hand the ball to. But like I said, road favorite in division primetime. That scares me, but this Rams team is a lot better than the Seattle team. I like the Rams.
Very healthy Rams team as well, staying healthy thus far. I will also side with the Rams here. We'll go to Sunday, early Sunday. You got to get up pretty early in the morning if you want to watch your New York Jets.
Hello, governor.
Cheers, mate. We're going.
Top of the morning to you.
We're going to London.
Cheeky, innit?
The New York Jets
Bruv.
will, I guess I can't say travel to Atlanta because we're going to London. Atlanta will be the home team on the scoreboard. They are a 3-point favorite against the New York Jets. Atlanta lost a heartbreaker last week to the Washington football team. The Jets got off the schneid, though. And you've had a couple days. You want to apologize now to Zach Wilson and the Jets?
I'm not going to apologize to Zach Wilson. I don't think he's that good. This Jets team did look pretty good this week, though, all things considered. They didn't look like a, 0-15 Jets team. When I dug into the numbers, the defense has been kind of competitive, kind of okay this year.
They
5th in the league in sacks.
They brought over Leonard Williams from the Giants, and their defensive front is okay. They've been able to play the run pretty well and get some decent pressure.
Mosley back at middle linebacker is big.
It is, yeah, and they've been solid in a couple areas, but just as a whole,
the offense on the other hand,
very bad.
Jets bottom 5 in rushing and passing offense, lead the league in interceptions. The offense is rough. The Falcons' offense is, in theory, should be better. They haven't obviously set the world on fire either. Matt Ryan is dangerously approaching Ben Roethlisberger territory.
Roethlisberger-esque.
He's not quite that bad, but he's pretty dang bad.
Not good. Statue-esque, if you will.
Can I give you a fun stat about these two teams?
I'd love one.
Only 2 teams whose defenses have not recorded an interception in the NFL this year. Jets and the Falcons.
Yikes.
Not making a lot of plays out there on defense.
They're both 1-3. Both 1-3 against the spread. It's just a lot of bad. 3 points. It did open 3.5 and moved a half point towards the Jets. I don't want to overreact to the Jets getting their first win. I still think they're very bad.
You want to know my thought process on picking this game? I think both these teams are equally dog shit. My thought process is that I think Atlanta is a slightly more veteran team, and I think they'll handle this London situation a little bit better, a little bit more professionally, and they'll be up for this game more so than this Jets team is a little younger, a little more inexperienced. So I'd lean Atlanta.
Think we're going to see pictures of Zach Wilson like in front of Big Ben or like the River Thames this weekend? Like he's out maybe soaking in the sights and Matt Ryan's in the playbook?
Grinding film.
Grinding
yeah.
it.
I
I wrote down Atlanta as well. I just don't want to overreact to the win that the Jets got this past week. Kind of like a sell the not hype but the momentum of this win. I'll back the Falcons, but I hate laying points with the Falcons because they do in fact stink.
Both teams are really bad though.
You on Atlanta though? -3?
Yep. I'm gonna lean the Dirty Birds.
Really gross game, but I have a gigantic problem, and I'll watch any sort of football that's on ever, and it's going to be on at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday, and I couldn't be more in.
Count me in, folks.
I'll be there. Miami, regular time slot at noon. We'll kick off the noon games. Miami travels to Tampa. Tampa is a 10-point favorite. It opened at 10.5. It is now down to 10. They are receiving 61% of the bets at the time of this recording. The total is 48. Tampa, for their sake, was hoping that they would get Stephon Gilmore. He ended up signing elsewhere. We'll talk about him a little later. Their secondary is in big trouble.
Absolute shambles. But you know what? One team that's not going to be able to take advantage of a bad secondary is this stinky-ass Miami Dolphins team. They are one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They are bottom 5 in both passing and rushing offense.
Yeah, not expecting Tua back for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, and even, I don't think Tua's the savior this team needs.
No, he's much better than Brissett, though.
He is, but still. But we're picking this game. Tua's not playing in this game. We're picking based on Brissett playing. Obviously, Tampa Bay has been disappointing, to say the least, to start the year, I would say. Obviously, the record's okay. They're 3-1.
3-1, but they
have not looked impressive
1-3
really at
against
all.
the spread, which doesn't always mean, but can kind of mean it's been a little so-so. It hasn't been real impressive. They haven't been covering numbers. They haven't been handling teams the way you would think a Super Bowl champion would thus far.
This Miami offense is so bad. They just can't put up any points. And honestly, the defense on paper is pretty good, but it really hasn't been that impressive this year if you look at the numbers.
Their secondary in theory is pretty star-studded, I suppose, but they just haven't really played that well. It's just such a big number, especially with a team that just hasn't looked that impressive all year. Man, Miami is 1-3.
They're 17th against the pass this year. The Miami Dolphins are, which is
nothing to fear.
Not great. But whenever you're facing Tampa Bay, who has the most passing yards in the NFL, it's tough. God, this number is so big, though. It is such a big number.
I will be taking the Miami Dolphins. And I don't like it. Just going to hold my nose. Too many points with a team that's not like one of the total disasters in the league. I mean, they're well coached.
Yeah.
Well coached.
Yeah.
A veteran quarterback. He's not good, but been kind of a career backup. And
they've been putting up 10 or 11.
They look bad.
What's the most points they've even scored in a game this year other than that one win?
They scored a bunch of points against the Raiders. They came back and tied that game, I think, and scored like 28 points or something in that game. I'm going to take I'll take the points here. I really don't like it at all. I'm hoping it's similar to a Falcons game when they went to Tampa and it was real close and Matt Ryan just decided to throw that game away, throw a couple pick sixes, and it looked a lot uglier than it was. But if you watch that game, they were in that later than a lot of people expected them to be. I think they scored to get it within like 4, like kind of late, and then threw like back-to-back pick sixes, so it got pretty ugly. I'll take the points here. Don't love it. I do like that the number came down a half point, and all the bets are on Tampa. It's really early in the week to talk reverse line movement, but that's not a bad indicator, so don't mind being on that side. I'll take +10. Don't like it, though. What are you taking?
I think I kind of got to ride with you on this. Tampa Bay, surprisingly, is the 3rd worst rushing offense in the entire NFL, which you would think with, in theory, one of the top 5 best offensive lines in the NFL. that wouldn't be the case. And in a game like this, to cover this type of number, I feel like you have to be able to control possession and wear the other team down. And they just haven't been good enough running the ball. So I think just simply based on that, I guess I got to go Miami there. Ugh, yuck.
Yeah, it's gross.
Hate that a lot.
Hold your nose.
But yeah, I think I got to go Miami there.
We'll stay in Florida. We're going to Jacksonville. Tennessee travels to Jacksonville. Jacksonville on a mini bye, on a bit of a long week after the Thursday game. Jacksonville opened a 3.5-point home dog. It's now 4.5 behind the strength of 72% of the bets on Tennessee. Tennessee just lost to the Jets.
They certainly did, folks.
On the other hand,
certainly did.
Will Urban Meyer make it to this game? Is he going to be coaching, or is he going to quit?
He might be too
irrevocably
irrevocably horny to make it to the field. I mean, he might see a pretty young thing in the parking lot. He's going to turn into a cartoon wolf and start making noises like an old-timey car horn.
Coach, that's Trevor Lawrence. I know he's got long hair, but get your hand
bulge
out
of his head. Horny coaches, can you win with them? Coming up next on First Take. I don't know. I mean, God, Tennessee's looked awful this year.
You want a quick pause? Top 3 or 5 horniest coaches? You got any off the top of your head?
Urban, for sure, really horny. Cliff Kingsbury's got to be super horny.
Coach O.
Maybe not, though.
Coach O.
Oh, I thought we were just talking NFL coaches.
Oh, no, just anyone. Who's the Louisville?
Bobby Petrino's the horniest coach of all time.
Horniest coach ever.
Guy broke his neck for some hot ass. So good for him.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino, obviously, horny coach, Hall of Fame. Louisville knows how to pick him.
Yeah. Buying hookers for recruits.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Big time yikes.
Splooging in the Italian restaurant. Shout out to Rick. Shout out to Rick. Come on the pod. Let's talk about
Anyway, Iona.
Yeah, he's at Iona, baby. He says that's the job he wants. He says he's not looking for any other jobs.
I'm happy here.
Yeah, okay, Rick.
Anyway, Urban Meyer. He's a piece of trash.
Horny as shit. Hey,
will he coach the Jags this weekend though? I think so.
I mean, yeah, I would assume so. I don't see why he wouldn't. Boy, I don't know what to think of this game because Jacksonville kind of looked okay last week. The offense sort of came to life a little bit. Lawrence sort of kind of looked like what we wanted Lawrence to look like in this rookie season. And this Tennessee defense obviously is pretty stinky.
I think the big question mark, the big wrench in this game is this whole distraction with Urban Meyer. How do you quantify? What are they gonna? Because you could argue that this guy's just a total joke. I mean, are the guys?
I feel like you and me have been saying that since he got hired. Like he's just a total circus.
And don't get me wrong, not a hot take. Like this guy, it seems like they haven't bought in since the jump.
No,
and stuff like this isn't going to help. I don't. It's hard to.
The Tebow thing. I mean, he just immediately punted all his credibility. Granted, he cut him after 2 weeks, which is the right thing to do, but you're just opening yourself up to be a sideshow at that point.
I hate to get into motivation and who wants it and this and that stuff, but it's just how motivated are you going to be to go play for this guy? I don't know how much they back him. Without this little sideshow, I would be on the Jags in this spot. I think Tennessee could it get pretty ugly there? I think AJ Brown, he practiced today. I think he's going to be back, which is huge because their offense was very poor without their playmakers out there. 72% of the money on Tennessee. +4. I really don't know. Talk me into something.
Man, I don't know either. Do we think Tennessee's actually this bad, or is Tennessee playing below their potential? I can't tell. I can't tell if Tennessee is actually this team or if they're underachieving. It's hard to say because
they just got beat by the Jets.
They did.
And it wasn't a fluke.
No.
They just beat them.
They just didn't win the game.
Just beat them.
But are they? I don't know.
I think their defense is bottom 5, very, very concerning.
Well, looking at the numbers, they've been good against the run, which surprises
no pressure.
me. Yeah, the pass defense is brutal. It's one of the worst in the league.
No pressure and just get eviscerated through the air. I think Lawrence has a really good day. They have some pretty good weapons. Although they did lose DJ Chark, Jacksonville. It didn't seem to bother him through that whole game on Thursday. Extra rest, extra prep. I am going to take Jacksonville here, but again, don't love it. I just really think that it could go south. We did the hot seats. Could Vrabel, if they go like go like 4-13 or something, like it goes way bad.
Seriously.
They could,
because this roster, I mean, obviously the defense isn't good. They don't have a lot of good players on that side of the ball, but with this offense, you should not.
I mean, Henry ran for like 200 yards last week. Didn't matter. They just shouldn't
be losing. And Vrabel's a defensive guy on top of that.
It's bad.
But that being said, I do think the distractions for Jacksonville is going to play a big part.
Huge.
And I do think Tennessee is a little better than what they're showing. I do think they're closer to a 500 team as opposed to like a bottom third of the league team, which is what they're showing. So I'll lean Tennessee here. I don't love it. For sure not going to bet this game. I don't want to bet either side of this.
My head for sure says Tennessee as well, just based on the unknown with this gigantic distraction with their coach and kind of the biggest, you would hope for Tennessee, the biggest buy low spot you're going to get on them all year. I mean, their value is as low as it's going to be coming off a loss to the Jets. And then on the other side of that, Jacksonville, even though they lost, kind of got look, they're maybe a little something figured out, maybe a little decent on Thursday. My head says Tennessee as well, but I'll hold the old nose and go against 72% of the bets and take Jacksonville as a home dog. We move to Carolina, my Panthers. We brought up Stephon Gilmore earlier and how Tampa, if they didn't press hard for him, I don't know what they're doing because they need him. He signs. He goes home, apparently from
Charlotte?
Yes, somewhere nearby.
One of the Carolinas?
Carolina.
Carolina adjacent?
He signs with Carolina. The Super Bowl's back on.
Meow. Am I missing something with this number?
I don't know. I love it.
Am I missing something?
Super
I mean,
lock.
What our two strongest sides on any team this year for you has been that Carolina is good, and for me has been that Philly is fucking terrible. I mean,
Philly.
Our
worlds are colliding.
It's the meme
it's
of
moved
the
down.
big black guy's arm and the big white guy's arm coming together.
So I'll set up the game. Philly travels to Carolina. They opened a 4.5-point favorite. It's gone towards Philly. It's 3.5 points now. The spread's 3.5. The total's 45. Philly's 1-3. Carolina's 3-1. Philly against the spread is 1-3. Carolina's 3-1. They are not going to have Gilmore for this game. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to be back until week 7. I didn't think Carolina looked bad against Dallas. They were never going to win that game, I don't think. Dallas handily won wire to wire, I would say, but rallied late and made it interesting. Philly got beat by Kansas City. I mean, no shame in that, I suppose, but just clearly the physicality that they had up front is so gone. They had 4 linemen out against Kansas City.
What's those guys' status for this week?
I'm not certain yet. Wednesday, I did not see their practice report. I can try to find it. As we go, tell me why I shouldn't be all over Carolina. Tell me why. Talk me out of it. I don't understand.
I don't know either. I can't come up with a good reason. I have no good defense for Philly. I mean, if you dig into I don't know. I mean, obviously going just like yardage allowed, yardage gained is a little deceptive because like game script and stuff comes into that. But I mean, Carolina's just a much better team in all facets of the game. It seems to me, a casual viewer of football.
I truly don't get it. Lane Johnson, with a personal matter, did not practice today, and Jason Kelsey, with a foot injury, rested today as well. Jordan Mailata, their left tackle, was a limited participant. So they could, in theory, get some of these guys back, which would be very big for them. Very big for them. So check the injury report on that. But honestly, would it sway you?
Here's the thing: is Carolina's offense has not been explosive, and they don't really blow teams out.
On the other side of that, McCaffrey practiced today.
Sure. regardless, just like the way it seems like they are looking to play, they're looking to dominate possession. They're not looking to get up and down a ton. Obviously, McCaffrey probably makes that game plan change a lot, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to be shocked if this is a close game, but I for sure think that Carolina's a better team. I am going to take Carolina in this spot.
This feels
feels easy. It feels too easy.
Feels like Lucy's about to pull the ball, and I'm going to take a big swing and land
feels
on my back.
Feels too easy, but I'm going to take it.
I'm trying to find reasons.
They're giving Big Ben the check down right now, and I'm going to throw the check down.
I'm
it's
trying
too
to find
easy. It's
reasons
wide open.
Yeah, I got to take Carolina. I've been on them all year. I think they're much, much better than Philly. I'm taking Carolina. I don't think we need to spend too much time in it. Speaking of Big Ben taking the check down, we move to Pittsburgh. Denver Broncos travel off their first loss to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a 1-point favorite. The total is a very ugly 40 at this time. Gross. Pittsburgh 1-3. Denver 3-1. Against the spread, Denver 3-1. Pittsburgh 1-3. Pretty even split here. Actually shaded a little bit towards Pittsburgh at this point. What a gross game. I don't want to watch this at all. I think Teddy's going to play. I think he was maybe limited today. They're watching him in the concussion protocol. If it's Drew Lock, obviously, don't want any of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's terrible.
Yeah, I don't. Fuck. Could you really sell yourself on picking the Steelers, though? I mean, is Drew Lock better than Big Ben at this point? Like,
no.
Boy,
right?
Big Ben does really stink.
Let me see.
He does really, really stink.
Actually, Bridgewater did not practice today with his concussion, but...
So, that's obviously why this number is not better than what it is. Regardless, I don't really care who Denver has on offense. Their defense is one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. Big Ben's he's going to have about 75 yards in the air. He's not going to complete a pass. Their offense is so bad. They are the worst rushing offense in the league on top of that. They're just not going to put up any points. They're going to lose. Even if Drew Lock plays, they're probably going to lose 13-3, 13-6. I'm taking Denver. I can't not take Denver here. Again, this one feels easy to me.
I will take Pittsburgh.
Why?
I think that this will be the lowest point for them of the season, probably. Coming off, they're 1-3. I think it's a back against the wall type of game. I think it's very low scoring. I think the possibility of Lock playing in the game is big for the Pittsburgh side. I think if we knew it was going to be him, it would be higher than this. So with the unknown at this point and a chance that Teddy doesn't play, I will lean Pittsburgh at home. Good coach. Speaking of coaching, did you see Harbaugh and Fangio go back and forth about the?
Mm-hmm. What do you think about? So to set the scene for those that didn't see, the Ravens were 4 yards away from setting the record for most consecutive games with 100 yards rushing, and they were in a scenario where they were leading at the end of the game and they should have just taken a knee, but instead they ran a play, ran for yards, got the yards.
Yep,
Fangio freaked out.
They were up by 14 or 17 points or something close to that range. Got the ball back with 5 seconds left and sent the offense out there and kind of did a quarterback sweep and ran for 5 yards and fell down to get 100 yards. And yeah, Fangio, I don't know what exactly he said, but he wasn't happy with basically calling it Bush League, not surprised from them. And then Harbaugh, back over the top, said, I didn't know there was a 14-point pass, so I'm not sure why they were throwing into the end zone with 10 seconds left in the game. Kind of it's a fair point. It's a fair point, but
here's the thing. When you're down,
they're down.
You try and score.
They're down.
You try and score however you think that is. I don't think you don't run out the clock when you're losing. I've never seen a team ever take a knee when they're losing. It's just not a thing you do. You fight till the end. And I don't know. Like, in the grand scheme of things, nothing happened. I think it's one of those things that, especially in a sport like football, on a play like that, say some guy on their defense gets hurt, it's like, congrats, you got some meaningless record that nobody gives a fuck about. This is super, this is typical Ravens. Like, they care about this shit. But
I was going to
come
say
postseason,
the exact same thing.
Who gives a fuck? I mean, they're all about this type of shit. Like, best regular season record books, shit like that.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Doesn't matter come the postseason. You guys are going to lose in the second round like you do every single season.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say.
Bunch of shit that you can put on like
Ravens.
Your like your locker room.
Shows
like there's a big hallway with a mural and you got a bunch of like records on there. You can put that on there, but
yeah, I think it shows you what they're focused on. I was going to say the exact same thing.
I think like good coaches, like they're like Bill Belichick, he's like, who fucking cares?
He would use that to, in some way to motivate for another game or some shit.
It's like in the grand scheme of things, like that 5-yard difference, it's a record, but it means nothing. It's 5 yards. It's 5 completely meaningless yards.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
like you're worried about the wrong things.
It was
You've won the game.
Some chicken shit stuff.
Yeah, I'm team Fangio.
I would agree, but
I think the defense that you shouldn't be throwing the ball down 14 is also fucking stupid. Like,
but it was a good. That's all he had.
Yeah, it's a good retort, I guess. In an argument, you just can't win.
Yeah, in an argument, when you look, when you pull that move and look like a total asshat, you gotta swing big, I guess. It was a good moment for Twitter, but like he still is chicken shit regular season stuff. I 100% agree. I was gonna say the exact same thing. Anyway.
So you're taking Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh. I hate it. Ben Roethlisberger is so cooked. He's so well done.
I think the public is still not to the point where we realize Pittsburgh's one of the worst teams in the NFL, I think. Just because of the quarter, like, they can't move the ball. The defense is good. It's not that good. It's not one of the 5-10 best defenses in the league right now. It's not good enough to make up for having the worst quarterback in the NFL.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I don't hate it. You're probably right.
Denver's a solid team. They're not a great team. Pittsburgh's a bad team.
Yeah, on the other end of that, maybe we saw Denver's not as good as we thought they were. They played some weak teams early.
Yeah. No, I think for sure they're an upper middle of the road team. They're right up there, slightly above the middle of the pack. Like, fine, good, not incredible.
Okay. I think if Drew Lock plays, Pittsburgh wins the game. So, hoping for that.
I think I could play quarterback and I'd beat Big Ben. Boy, do they stink.
Yeah, he does, at least.
Going to the next game. Green Bay, 3-point favorites on the road at Cincinnati. Thoughts?
Cincinnati right now is only getting 29% of the money of the bets. Getting very much disrespected. They're +3 at home. Total's 51. They got a long week. Played Thursday. Both teams are 3-1. I don't really know. I think it feels right. I would lean Green Bay in this spot, but I think Cincinnati is a good enough team to where this does feel a little disrespectful, maybe. I think they're just good. It does feel right, though.
Yeah, I think as the season goes on, we'll realize that Cincinnati has a pretty good defense that I think a lot of people don't realize yet. Their defense has been pretty stout. And Green Bay's defense after that first week is like for sure rounding into form and kind of getting healthy and getting a little bit closer to what we anticipated they would be at the beginning of the season. They have a lot of big names over on that side. Yeah, like you said, I think this is pretty spot on with what the number should be. I don't know why my gut wants to take Cincinnati here, though. I really don't have a good analytical explanation for it.
Yeah, I mean, home dog on a long week. I mean, with a team that is 3-1 and trending fairly well. The questions around Burrow and his health have pretty much gone away at this point. He looks pretty good. Fairly healthy. They believe they'll get T. Higgins back. I'd like to know about their safety, Jesse Bates, if he's going to be playing. He missed the Thursday nighter. If he was playing, that would be a big boost to their defense. I initially wrote down Green Bay, but I think I'm flipping here on the fly. I think I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I think they could win this game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean Cincinnati too. I think this should probably be fewer points than this is. I really think these teams are more evenly matched than people think. I think Cincinnati's pretty good. I think Green Bay's, like the second tier, third tier team. Not a top tier team like a lot of people would assume with a Rodgers team. Yeah, I like Cincinnati in this spot, I think.
I'm going to go that way too. +3, a full 3 at home. And Green Bay's getting 71% of the bets at this point. That's always a good sign. To be on the other side of that, I will also take the 3. Just a real stinker. New England travels to Houston. The total in this game is 39.5, and Houston's getting 9.
I don't know that I've ever seen an NFL total under 40.
I have before. It might have been like due to weather though. It's rare. I remember like a 38 one time. I think it was like a foot of snow maybe. I don't know. It's in the same game. They're getting 9 points. They get shut out back-to-back weeks. Am I remembering that right? They got shut out last week. They got beat 40-0 last week.
I think they might have gotten shut out back-to-back week. It was Thursday night. It was Thursday night game the week before, right? Against
my phone's up there.
Against
Carolina.
Yeah. Did they get shut out in that game?
No.
But I think they only scored like once.
Yeah, they scored 9 points.
I believe they didn't score a touchdown, if I'm remembering correctly.
Right. I mean, they're putrid. They are who we thought they were. They're one of the worst teams they are the worst team in the league. They have Davis Mills at quarterback, who is just not an NFL quarterback.
No, not even remotely close, to be totally honest with you.
I don't know.
Here's the other thing. New England's offense is almost... it's as bad as any offense in the league. It's not as bad as this offense.
It's
not very high. But to back this offense in a 9-point spread doesn't feel good at all. It is one of the least explosive offenses in the entire league.
Right. That is a good way to put it. Not explosive at all. Very dink and dunk.
Not running the ball well. Mac Jones is averaging like 180 passing yards a game. Probably.
I have Houston written down here. I haven't written down. I think it's a hold your nose game.
Man, I kind of agree with you.
It's so gross. They scored literally 0 last week. That's bad. Probably don't cover if they score 0. Although not out of the question, because New England has struggled. We talk about how bad that secondary is for Tampa and how much the defense has struggled. They didn't score on that team, although it was in a monsoon. I think the offense could really hold them back. 9 is, I think that was well said. 9 is so much for this very, very questionable offense. I have Houston written down. What are you going with?
Fuck it, I'm taking the Patriots. This offense is so goddamn bad. I do think it's not out of the question that they score under 7.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Either side, I'm going to hold my nose on this. So, give me New England, I guess.
All right. Detroit at Minnesota. Detroit is getting 9 points here on the road. The total's 49.
I have 9.5. You sent me 9.5.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's 9.5. I think it's moved since then, but we will go with 9.5. Is for the show 9.5. Detroit's 0-4. They're 2-2 against the spread. Covered the number twice. Minnesota is a sneaky 1-3 though. They've won 1 game.
Yeah,
haven't been very good. Lost some close ones, but
haven't really got blown out. They've
lost some close games.
Been competitive in all of their
good
games.
Teams. Detroit last week lost to the Bears on the road in a spot where that defense kind of ate up Jared Goff a little bit. I think they ended up losing by 10. Wrote down Detroit. another in division, hold your nose. Detroit has fought fairly hard so far, but I keep saying it every week. How long does it last? How long will you?
What was the score of the Bears game last week?
I want to say 24-14. I think it was a 10-point loss.
I think that the Minnesota Vikings are better on both sides of the ball than the Chicago Bears are. Do you agree with that? Offense, I would assume it's not even questionable.
On defense, right? I think it's a wash.
Offense is not even a question. Obviously, Minnesota's much better. Defense is close. Oh, I wish there was not that half point. Man, feels too big, which is why you're on Detroit, obviously.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of points in division.
Yeah, give me Detroit.
With a team that's 1-3. I know they have played.
Ooh,
okay.
I could easily see them getting beat by 100 points in this game, though. I could really see Minnesota running an absolute track meet on them. But
yeah, in a dome where, or at least a state. Yeah, it's a full dome, right? The new Minnesota.
It might be retractable, but it's for sure
where
covered. I think
Goff always plays better. Soldier Field's a bad spot for Jared Goff in the outdoors and the wind. I think inside is where he prefers it, and I think he'll play a little bit better than he did against the Bears. I think they keep it close-ish and pretty low likelihood they win that game, but I think they keep it close enough. The New Orleans Saints travel to Washington. Washington is a home dog in this spot. They are +2. The total is 44. Both teams are 2-2. 1-3 against the spread for the Washington football team. New Orleans, I just can't get excited about them. They're just not.
Their offense sucks.
They suck.
It sucks so bad.
I don't know who. Someone tweeted it. I don't know who it was. They're bottom in the league in plays of 20-plus yards. They've just got no explosiveness to their game.
No.
It's
and I don't even know it's as much Jameis. Their receivers fucking suck.
Awful.
They have no one catching passes.
They were fired up about Marquez Callaway in preseason. That was their guy.
Most people listening to this are going to say, who the fuck is that?
Who?
And you're absolutely justified.
Snoop Dogg meme. Who?
Conor McGregor. Who the fuck is that guy? Give a little Conor McGregor. Well, pretty good impression.
Pretty good. Not going to lie.
Pretty good. This is a lot of
Washington beat Atlanta, but they just looked like shit doing it.
Yeah, they had to beat them on a last-second play against one of the worst teams in the NFL. It's not like Washington has a good offense. This is going to be one of the worst played offensive games.
This is hard
of the day.
Picking all these games. This is hard. It's like all these lines are really close, and I don't know what to do.
Fuck me. I think New Orleans is slightly better coached. I think right now their defense is playing us slightly better. Both the quarterbacks suck. Washington has the better receivers. The running back is a wash. The O-line is probably slightly lean to New Orleans.
Big lean to New Orleans, I would say.
New Orleans lost to the New York Giants, who maybe they don't suck that bad. Now that I'm saying this out loud, maybe they're not that bad. Saints.
Haven't been impressed at all with Washington.
Saints.
I have no faith in them being able to stop them, although they have looked quite.
Seems like about anyone can stop them.
Yeah.
Seems like you and I could draw some shit up in the dirt and probably stop them.
You going Saints too?
Yeah.
Draw some stuff up in the dirt.
Do you do that on defense?
I think so.
As a kid, I was drawing up cloud flats in the dirt.
Palm of the hand.
All right, you're gonna be on a You're gonna be on a hook curl here, and you're gonna be a little blitz zone.
Blitzing and hook curling.
Hook curl blitz.
Okay.
And then I was talking,
I get
football stuff.
Yeah, no, I get
Cover 3.
Football guy. Cleveland travels to L.A. to face the Chargers. The Chargers are a 1.5-point favorite. Both teams are 3-1, and both 3-1 against the spread. The total is 47 in this game. The bet number is slightly skewed towards the Chargers in this spot, off a impressive win against the Raiders on Monday night. Did you see the clip of Brandon Staley today talking on Twitter?
Talking about physical. Talking about making guys tackle.
but not just like hardo football guy.
No, it all made sense. It was very logical for a layman like myself. I was like, that makes sense.
You don't have to run the ball for play action to be effective, kids.
No.
Dude, set up the run, establish
But
it.
he didn't say you don't have to run the ball.
Correct.
He did say that it is important to run the ball.
Very important.
Because
but
it's important to make guys tackle.
Yes. It's important to make guys tackle.
It's similar. It's I don't know if this is a good analogy.
I'll tell you if
similar
it's
to
not.
baseball, like you got to make contact rather than just swinging from your heels.
Hey,
like
make 'em-
make them field the ball.
Make a play.
Make them field the ball.
Put it in play.
Make the other team make a play rather than throw it 40 yards for an incompletion 3 times to hopefully complete one of them. Get 5 yards. Hopefully, maybe they make a tackle. You get 15 one of those times.
Anyway, my point is I think he's really smart, and I think he's going
No, I
to be
think
a
he's a
really,
great
really
coach.
good coach.
Counterpoint: Kevin Stefanski, I think, is also a really, really good coach.
Fact.
Two of the best young teams, best young coaches in
Coach
the
of
entire
the year,
NFL.
I think, right?
I might have picked him. I think.
No, I mean, didn't he win it last year?
I don't know.
I think he did. Pretty sure he did. Like 90% sure he did. Could be looking at the coach of the year for this year, too. Brandon Staley. There's
If they had a coaching rookie of the year, it would certainly be him.
no doubt. I've been so impressed. Been so impressed with the Chargers, man. They're healthy. I'm taking them. I'm riding it. I really like them. Love the coach. Love the quarterback. I think their quarterback's better. I know their quarterback's better.
Quarterback's for sure better. You want me to give you a stat why I love the Browns in this spot?
Do it.
The Browns, the #1 rushing offense in the league, surprise to nobody.
Very
Chargers, the 3rd worst rushing defense in the league.
good. That's fine.
They're not going to be able to defend the run. Justin Herbert's not going to be able to get on the field.
That's fine.
Cleveland's running it down their throats. Browns all day.
That's fine.
Browns running it down their throats, playing the game at their speed. Obviously,
C-L-E.
Herbert, better quarterback. They've probably got they for sure have the better pass offense. Absolutely. Chargers do. But I don't think it's going to matter because
No
I don't
doubt.
think Justin Herbert's going to be able to get on the field that much. I think Cleveland is going to control the possession of this game. I think also one of the better defenses Herbert has faced up to this point. Maybe the best defense Herbert has faced up to this point.
We like the Raiders a lot.
We do. I really like the
looks
Browns
great.
defense, though.
It is
Browns
good.
have probably the best pass rush in the league. Probably.
Up there.
Let's see who leads the league. Let's see who leads the league in sacks.
Who's the best pass rusher in the league right now?
I mean, Myles Garrett's got to be on the short list. Browns are 3rd in the league in sacks, tied with the Panthers. The Bears are 1st in the league in sacks.
Heavily buoyed by the 9 they got against Justin Fields.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's in the conversation as top 3 pass rusher in the league. I
love Cleveland in this spot.
We just talked about how mediocre the Vikings are. They just struggled a lot with the Vikings.
I agree.
Just saying.
Minnesota's defense good against the run.
Just saying.
You know, if you can force Cleveland to convert 3rd downs through the air and force them to pass, I don't think the Chargers are going to be able to do that here. I like Cleveland.
Fair enough. Good reasoning. Like it. The Bears travel to Las Vegas to face the Raiders. The Raiders are a 5.5-point favorite. The total is 44.5. At the time of this recording, the Raiders are getting 70% of the money.
We
Raiders
have confirmed Justin Fields will be under center
for the rest of the season.
Good job, Matt. 3-year extension.
You did it. We got there. What was this song and dance bullshit? What are we doing? Is this for Andy's feelings?
Fuck your feelings. This is the goddamn NFL, motherfucker. You were an all-pro for enough years. You had enough shine.
It's over, dude.
It's fine. Being a backup quarterback's fucking sick.
Yeah, you're going to make 20, 15 million. I don't know what he's getting paid.
You
10,
gotta just stand
$10
on the
million a
sideline
year?
and do shit like this, and just you get to look over his shoulder at the iPad and be like, yeah, shouldn't have threw that interception.
Hey, Justin, it was a 3.
It was an out. You threw it in. I don't know. Shouldn't have.
The slot blitz.
He's coming. You gotta and throw it. Yeah, seems like a pretty sweet gig. Seems like shouldn't complain.
I'd be Chase Daniel if I could.
Oh yeah, big time. Anyway, Bears. What do we think?
Does that change your opinion of their chances in this game? It has to. It has to. least give him a little more upside. I mean, Andy
For
Dalton
sure.
wasn't covering this number.
No, I do think Fields, like, to be fair, like, obviously we've ragged on Andy Dalton. I mean, Fields has looked, he's
hasn't
had
blown
flashes,
he
but
hasn't
he
blown
hasn't
the
looked,
top off of this
hasn't looked
thing.
incredible. He's still, trying to figure it out, as all these rookie quarterbacks are. He's still trying to put it all together.
It's not. It's not like it was like Justin Herbert last year when he came in week 2 for Tyrod Taylor, and we're like, were they at practice? Were they? This guy is better than Tyrod by a mile. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like he threw like 4 touchdowns in his first game or whatever. He is still learning the NFL game. I guess you'd say he's not blown the top off of this offense as he's taken over. But they've kept the reins pretty tight on him thus far. He hasn't really run that much. I'm not really.
It seems like they're keeping
where
it super vanilla with their play calling with him, which rightfully so. Like, don't give him too much to think about too early.
especially after he got his ass kicked in the first game by the Browns.
But you could argue that was because they kept the play calling so vanilla that the Browns were like, "Are you sure you're sure you're gonna just do this again? Okay, that's fine."
Hey, I'm gonna sack you again.
I mean, it was like they had a play in Madden and the other person didn't know how to like audible. They're just like, "Okay, I'm just gonna run the play again. We're just gonna sack you, I guess."
The from the Water Boy when he's got his what is it? When he has his plays or whatever it is,
He's got his little notebook.
Football for Dummies or whatever, and they're over there like giggling. Whatever.
Football for
Didn't
dummies,
realize it.
little for dummies joke. I don't even know if they still make those. They still make like for dummies books. Probably like a website now.
Yeah, like everything else. I swear I knew someone that had a bunch of those.
Probably
Like, not as a bit.
Probably. We're from
A lot of good info in
we're
here.
from scumbag Midwest towns.
A lot of good
You know,
info.
a lot of uninformed people, us included. Have we even talked about this game at all?
Fields is playing.
Fields is playing. I like the Raiders. I think.
I have Las Vegas written down.
Yeah, I think I like the Raiders. Don't have a lot to say. I think I like the Raiders.
I don't have a lot to say either. I haven't been, overly impressed with how dynamic the Bears have been with him under center.
No Montgomery for the Bears also is big.
Montgomery, that is big. Damian Williams, though.
The run game really opens it up for a young quarterback.
Lean on your runner.
You
running
picked
back.
him up in fantasy football, so I think you got a little
Big-
vested interest.
Big Dame.
I picked him up in the league also, so
Need him.
hopefully Dame has a big day.
Gotta have it.
I don't know if I'm going to play him or not, but we'll see.
Need to play him.
Yeah, you're in a tough spot.
I'm going Las Vegas too.
Yeah,
I think
5.5
they
seems
lost
like
to
a
a really good
lot.
team last week. They're 3-1. I think they're a good team. They're a good defense. I think Fields will struggle on the road against that defense, and they're without their lead running back. And I like Las Vegas.
Yeah, me too. Not much to say. I just think they're a better team. I think they're at home.
The lone undefeated team in the NFL, Arizona Cardinals, will host the 49ers. Trey Lance, another rookie, will be under center for this game before they head to the bye. The Cardinals are favored by 5.5 points in this game. They're 3-1 against the spread. The 49ers off a loss to Seattle. And the Cardinals off a big win against the Rams. Is this just the Rams from last week?
It feels like these teams just keep kicking these type of games down the road. Like, it was Tampa Bay. The Rams beat Tampa Bay. It was a letdown spot. They played the next week. It's a letdown spot. Arizona.
Huge.
Is it a letdown spot?
Huge prove-it week last week for Arizona against what people are calling the big brother of that division. And they beat them down. They beat them pretty handily.
Beat that ass.
Pretty handily.
They really beat that ass. They really did. Man, the thing about this is I'm not
very
super
concerned.
sold on how good San Francisco is.
I'm very concerned about their secondary, San Francisco. Very concerned.
So the way they were supposed to win this year was defense and running the ball. They haven't really done either particularly well.
The front is not really making an impact that
No,
I wanted it to.
they're okay against the run. They're top 10 against the run. They're 10th. Top 15 against they're top 15 against the run. Top 10 against the pass.
How many sacks do they have?
How many sacks do they have? I'm gonna imagine not many. Let's take a look.
They're supposed to be like Nick Bosa and there's stuff.
These
fearsome,
logos are so small.
fearsome defensive front, and they just haven't really. I feel like
they're like middle of the pack in sacks.
They haven't made the impact that I wanted them to.
Tied for 12th in the league in sacks.
Everything in my head is telling me to take San Francisco in this letdown spot coming back home for Arizona. Exactly what we saw last week with the Rams. But their secondary's bad, and they're going to attack them through the air. I'm going to go with Arizona in this spot to keep it going. I think they're just way better.
Me too.
At this time.
I
don't think they have the dudes to keep up with that.
Arizona
that
is
offense.
Slowly showing us they're one of the best teams in the league. The defense looks semi-legit. They're running the ball super well, which was a big question mark going into the year. They're running the ball super effectively.
Real quick, I watched every snap of the game. Was that? No, it wasn't Sunday night. That was the Patriots of the Rams game. Kyler Murray, like, what are we doing?
Cheat code.
You just can't tackle him.
Cheat code.
He does this, like when an alignment gets close to him, he does just like weird, just like hesitation move. He just like stops and kind of just like slows down their feet, and then just motors around him.
His acceleration is
just like they're not even standing there.
I've never, other than Michael Vick, I've never seen someone who can start and stop as quick as him as a quarterback.
He is different than Lamar. It's different.
His stop and start is fucking insane.
Straight line, maybe Lamar could.
Lamar is
him.
like slippery as hell.
Yeah,
like it seems like you can't like get a clean hit on him. But in terms of start and stopping on a dime, I've never seen a quarterback like him.
He's incredible. You almost can't sack him. Like Lamar can be like wrangled in the pocket. Like you can, if you get a lane on him, you can bring him down. But once he gets open, like the open field, he can like swerve and miss tackles that way. But just the
Lamar is like if you greased up a snake trying to grab it, and Kyler Murray strikes me as like if you had like a rabbit in like a fenced-in backyard trying to run it down and grab it. Just impossible.
Incredible quickness. It was infuriating. So their line isn't great, but he just makes up for it. It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
No.
You're not going to catch him.
Nope.
And then he just
makes good decisions with the ball, and he's got a great arm.
Yards. Yeah, it's incredible.
Arizona.
Very interested to see Trey Lance play in this game, though. Should be a lot of fun. I am taking Arizona as well. The number was 5.5. The next game, the Giants travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. They are open to 7.5 point favorite. They are now down to 7. The Cowboys are 3-1. The Giants are 1-3. Cowboys have been very impressive so far. Handled the previously undefeated Panthers last week at home. They, in an odd move, released Jalen Smith, one of their linebackers.
I did think that was strange.
Something's up.
Yeah, what's going on
They just signed him like a year ago to like a $60 million extension.
Yeah,
something's up. Something I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort
more
of
info is going to come out.
Some sort of a legal matter came up, or some sort of problem in the organization where I have no idea, got in a fight or did something that I don't know. I don't know what could have happened to release him, but it just seemed because it's not like because Gilmore was traded for a box of.
You could get a pick for that guy.
Box of crack,
assuming he's not a murderer. Like
that's what I'm saying. Something must have happened.
I don't know. Yeah,
they just signed him. He was under contract.
First round pick.
Very bizarre.
Great player.
Either way,
I don't know.
The Cowboys have undeniably looked great. They look legit. They look for real. 4-0 against the spread. The Giants, off a big win, needed it. Got off the schneid. They're 1-3 now. They beat the Saints on the road. 7's a big number, though, in division. How are we feeling about this game?
It really is. Yeah, the number is definitely big. Number is definitely a little bit scary.
Before you get into what you're about to say, I said the same thing against Philly, and they just beat their head in.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, this is in this division. These always are close games. Kind of the same vibe, although it is 7. The Philly number was like 4. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit different, but go ahead.
7's a huge number. Daniel Jones is having the best year of his career, I would say, up to this point. He's not been as turnover prone. He's making good plays on the ground, making good plays with his arm. That being said, Dallas is like statistically not great against the pass, but it seems like they make a lot of big plays. They seem to always come away with that interception fumble whenever they need it.
It's been incredible.
Dude's an absolute interception machine.
He has 5 interceptions in 4 games. He's just like can't stop intercepting
Guy's
passes.
basically a receiver. So, man, I don't know. The number seems too big, and I want to take the Giants, but my brain is for sure screaming at me not to overthink it and to just take Dallas. But the full 7 is just screaming a bit for a backdoor.
I'm taking the Giants.
Eek!
I'm taking the Giants. I've been so impressed with how I hate it so much. I've been so impressed with how Dallas has just taken whatever defenses are willing to give them. You saw in week 1 against Tampa, the best run defense in the league. They just threw it all over them. Although they didn't win that game, they didn't cover. They lost by 2. And then these past couple weeks, they just ran it down their throat with Zeke and Pollard. I can't say enough about how good they've been. It is what it is. I hate to say it.
And for that reason, you're taking the Giants?
I know that's my biggest issue. I've just been very impressed with Dallas so far. But in this division, I'm going to side with the Giants. I've been pretty impressed with Daniel Jones. You said he's having the best year of his career. I think you're right.
Number's too big. Nope. I'm taking the Giants. Nope. Taking the Cowboys. I'm taking the
Cowboys?
Cowboys. They're just a lot better team. This is arguably the best team the Giants have played so far. I think you can make that argument.
You're probably right.
They've looked pretty okay against some pretty mediocre teams.
You're probably right.
Dallas is a real legit
The main
contender.
event of the slate, the
The
Sunday nighter,
game of the week. Oh, baby.
one of the games of the year. Buffalo travels to Arrowhead to take on Kansas City. Kansas City is a 2.5-point favorite. Kansas City is 2-2 on the season. They're 1-3 against the spread. The Buffalo Bills are 3-1 and also 3-1 against the spread. We've moved on from week 1 for the Bills. They've looked like the team they were supposed to look like. They've looked incredible. The Chiefs have been a little uneven. They handled the Philly last week.
By their standards, the Chiefs have looked bad. By the Chiefs' standards, they've looked bad.
Yeah.
By what you expect, I mean,
I think that's right. They've been up
what
and
you
down.
expect of them is to be one of the best offenses in the history of the NFL. By those standards, they've been pretty bad.
Tough standard, but yes.
But, I mean, that's the standard because that's what they've shown to be when this team's humming.
Yeah. They put up a bunch of points last week, but that was Philly. I'm very concerned about their defense, man. It's not good. We've seen the price of signing these superstar players. It just erodes away the players that you don't think about. It erodes away the depth in the secondary and on the defensive line. It just is so hard to keep good players when you have to pay your quarterback $50 million and you have to pay Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. It's just their defense is bad. It's really bad.
And on the other side, I don't know if it's quietly or maybe not that quietly. The Bills have, you could argue, the best defense in the entire NFL right now.
They've been great.
They're absolutely shutting people down. They're shutting some bad teams down, but nonetheless, it's hard to hold any NFL team to 0 points.
Their window that I was just talking about with just paid Josh Allen, maybe that's coming for them too. But
right
I think
now, it's not there yet.
I think right now is the peak of the Bills for the next 5 years. Is this season and next season? I mean,
I'm
on the Bills
love the Bills in this spot.
Me
I
too.
think they should be favored in this game. I really do.
The only reason is because it's on the road.
And it's the Chiefs. People
and
want
it's
to bet
the
on
Chiefs.
the Chiefs. I will bet the Bills money line.
100%.
I love
I have
the
a
Bills
feeling,
plus 2.5. I love the Bills here.
I might bet Bills on some alternate stuff. I think they
I
might
don't hate it at
go
all.
and roll them.
I really agree. I hard agree.
I think it could
much like what
as much as you can roll an offense of this caliber. I mean, they could score 21-20. They could go score. The Bills could go score 45 points on this team.
Yes,
and kick the shit out of them.
I mean, we've seen much worse offenses put up 30 plus on this team with not a lot of resistance.
Yeah, I mean,
This
I think that
defense
defense is in huge trouble.
Reeling right now.
Yeah,
It's not good at all.
no pressure. They've got no one to hold up on the back end, and I think Josh Allen just has an absolute field day.
I will say the Bills have played 4 pretty dog shit teams so far.
Who
this
they've
year.
played? They've played
Pittsburgh, Miami, Washington, Houston. Pretty easy schedule as opposed to Kansas City, who's played Baltimore. They've played LA, the Chargers, that is. I don't remember the other 2 teams they played, but those 2 teams
They
are
just played Philly.
Philly, who's also not good. But, they've played 2 teams that will probably be playoff teams.
That's true. That's fair. It's
easy. It's easy for your defense to look good when you're playing Davis Mills and Taylor Heineke. So
and Ben Roethlisberger.
And Ben Roethlisberger.
Who they lost to?
Tua or Brissett?
Tua.
Maybe half of a game of Tua.
Half of Tua. Yeah, they got hurt. They shut him out.
That being said,
love the Bills.
Love the Bills. Love the Bills.
Love them. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. I think they're the best team in that conference.
Love the Bills.
Love the Bills.
We love the Bills.
Monday night. You gonna do a little little Hank Williams? Are you ready for some football? Colts travel to Baltimore. Baltimore is -7. They're 3-1. Kind of, I feel like it's a disappointing 3-1 for the Baltimore. They stuck out a win against the Chiefs.
Snuck one out against Detroit.
Yeah, the Detroit game was weird. They just didn't look very good. It kind of seems like
handled Denver last week.
Yeah, played well last week. That was a good sign.
Lost to the Raiders.
Which
at the time looked like a bad loss, and looking back now is probably a fine loss.
Oakland. Las Vegas is just pretty good. The Colts are 1-3. They got their first win last week. I was dead wrong about that game.
Oh, who did they play last week?
Miami. They looked pretty good last week. They're now 1-3. 7 is a lot, but I think I like Baltimore here. I think they could steamroll them. I think they could impose their will Baltimore regular season tough guy style.
I think so too. I think it's time to give up on the dream of Indy being a very good team. I think we can stop dreaming about the Colts.
One of the best linemen in the league, Quentin Nelson, is on IR.
Yeah, they're just not that good. They're just pretty mediocre, pretty mid. Baltimore's should be well in the playoff hunt. Very easily could win this division.
Don't love the 7, but I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Baltimore too. I don't have much to say about that one. I don't love Indy. I don't foresee this being a very good game, unfortunately.
No,
you'd love to see the primetime games be a little more competitive than this.
You never know. Baltimore's played some close games this year.
Yeah.
Outside of last week when they got a dose of Drew Lock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore as well. Not a lot of analysis. I just feel like regular season Baltimore, they just don't have enough for them on the other side. It's baseball time.
It's baseball time,
Time to
folks.
watch the game. It is.
Next time we talk to you, we'll either be pretty stoked or pretty bummed.
Yeah. Will you be bummed? I'll be bummed, but I won't be devastated.
Yeah, I'll be bummed. I don't know, but I won't be devastated.
We were talking before how it's
kind of house money at this point.
Kind of a team that we didn't expect to improve and play as well as it has down the stretch.
This team has won my heart, though.
I'm
so invested.
I love Tyler O'Neill, dude. He's so good.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like most of our pieces are young, so it doesn't feel as bad. And when we lose this game,
our outfield is so fun.
Set up for the future. Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, not really. I haven't seen the Dodgers. You get a prediction for the game? How you want to call any? How do you think Wainwright's going to pitch on the road?
I think he's going to shove. I think he's going to fucking shove. I think he's going to go 6.5, 6 2/3 strong.
6.5.
6.5. He's going to get it out and a half in the 6th inning,
That's big
7th
of him.
inning.
That's huge. We're going to need it.
Yeah, he's going to go about 6 2/3 probably. 6 Ks, 2 earned runs.
The fall of Cody Bellinger, dude. He's about an 8th tonight.
Yeah, guy stinks.
Betts, Seager, Turner, Trey Turner, Justin Turner, Will Smith, A.J. Pollock, Matt Beatty, and Cody Bellinger with Scherzer on the mound. And then the Cardinals are rolling with what they have been for the past month and a half. That's been working.
We'll see you in the World Series.
See you in the World Series.
Bye, folks. It's been fun.
Go Birds.
Go Birds!